Hello. We hope you're enjoying your stay at Toshi's place.
To help you make the most of your time in Kamakura, we've prepared this sightseeing guide.
Today, we'll introduce you to Amanawa Shinmei Shrine.
Mm.
Okay, what if we told you this is truly ancient, really serene spot right here in Kamakura? It's kind of a hidden gem, often gets overlooked by, the casual visitor. This isn't just another pretty temple or shrine. Amanawa Shinmei Shrine offers, well, a deep dive into layers of silence, myth, centuries of history.
Yeah.
It weaves together literature, history, power, nature, all into one really calming experience.
Yeah.
It's like an invitation to step back in time, you know, get away from the usual crowds.
You've really hit on something vital there. It's not just old, it holds the distinction of being one of Kamakura's absolute oldest. Its origins go way back, like early 8th century.
Wow, 8th century.
Yeah, over 1,200 years of history right there. And what's really striking is the level of sanctity. It's often compared to Ise Jingu.
The Ise Jingu, the most sacred one.
Exactly. Ise Jingu, dedicated to Amaterasu, the sun goddess, ancestor of the imperial line. It's central. So for someone like Minamoto no Yoritomo,
The first shogun.
right, the first shogun, for him to show such deep reverence here, well, that speaks volumes. It wasn't just piety, it was strategic too. Aligning herself with that kind of ancient spiritual power helped legitimize his rule.
Ah, okay. Connects his authority to the divine.
Precisely. So you're not just visiting a historical site, you're stepping into a place where prayers have echoed for, well, over a millennium. Shaping medieval Japan, really.
That context really changes how you see it, doesn't it?
Sure.
Let's unpack that past a bit more. Could you paint a picture? How did it go from just a prayer spot to a formal shrine? We hear about the high priest Gyoki back in the Nara period.
Right, Gyoki in the 8th century. He was a pivotal figure, known for temples and social projects. His connection suggests that foundational sacredness, Then later, a local nobleman, Sumea Taro Tokitada, actually built the shrine buildings.
So what does that early history tell us? Why is it so significant?
Well, it highlights how these sacred spots grew organically. And what's compelling is that among all the shrines still standing in Kamakura, and there are loads, this one is unique. It gives us this rare, direct glimpse into spiritual traditions from over 1,000 years ago.
Wow.
It predates the shogunate itself. It's like a living testament, an unbroken line of faith, like finding a perfectly preserved ancient manuscript.
And it wasn't just old. Seems like it was incredibly important to the big players, the powerful figures. You mentioned Minamoto no Yoritomo and his whole clan. How deep did that reverence run? What role did it play when the shogunate was starting out?
Oh, their reverence was absolute, almost like a cornerstone for their new rule,
Yeah.
Yoritomo and the Genji clan saw it as a key spiritual anchor.
Especially during that volatile time, I imagine.
Exactly. When they were consolidating power, this shrine offered, well, not just spiritual guidance, but a link to divine protection. It was a key site for devotion. The shogun himself likely prayed here for the success of his new government.
So it gave their authority that divine stamp of approval.
Right. Crucial back then, when spiritual legitimacy was just as important as, say, military strength.
Okay, that connection to Ise Jingu makes even more sense now. You mentioned the title Ise Betsugu.
Yeah.
How exactly would that honorary title have been seen back then? Did it have real-world significance?
Oh, absolutely. Ise Betsugu didn't mean it was officially a branch shrine in like an administrative way.
Oh,
But the
God.
title itself was incredibly powerful. It meant the Genji rulers, the founders of the shogunate, considered it equal in sacredness to Ise Jingu.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
Huge prestige. It would have guaranteed patronage, protection, respect. It drew worshippers and cemented its status as a spiritual powerhouse, directly tied to the shogunate's beliefs, a clear declaration of its elevated standing.
So the main deity is Amaterasu Omikami, the sun goddess, protector of Japan. Pretty powerful stuff.
Absolutely central.
But I understand there are other deities too, offering different kinds of blessings. So what blessings can you find here when you visit?
That's a great question for you, the visitor. Beyond Amaterasu, who naturally brings blessings of light, prosperity, national well-being, local tradition enshrines others too.
Like who?
Well, there's Ukanomitama no Mikoto for agriculture, good harvests, always important. Then Izanami no Mikoto,
The creation goddess.
yes, who gave birth to the land of Japan with Izanagi, so fertility, creation. And Takemikazushi no Mikoto, a powerful god of martial arts, protection. Very significant during the shogunate era for warriors,
Makes sense.
And for those hitting the books, Shugawara no Michizain, the deity of learning.
So Basically something for everyone. Family safety, good grades, fertility, safe childbirth, good harvests.
Exactly. It draws a really diverse crowd for good reason, a place of hope and well-being covering all sorts of life needs.
Okay, let's shift from the spiritual to what you actually see there.
Hmm.
As you walk through the Torii Gate, what should we look out for? You mentioned a monument for Adachi Morinaga. Who was he?
Right, just past the torii, you'll spot that monument. Adachi Morinaga was a really close, trusted retainer of Yoritomo. Played a key role in the inner circle.
One of the 13 lords, right?
That's him. A council with huge influence in shaping the early shogunate. And fascinatingly, he helped unite Yoritomo and Hojo Masako, two massive figures.
Wow. So his connection here shows how central the shrine was to Kamakura's elite.
Definitely. His residence being here says a lot.
And it's interesting how traditions pop up around specific spots. Like further up the stone steps, you mentioned the birth well of Hojo Tokumune. Is there a story behind that? Why is it linked to childbirth prayers?
There absolutely is. The legend goes that Hojo Tokumune, who became the 8th regent, a really influential figure himself, had his very first bath using water from this well.
Ah, his first bath.
Yeah, and that simple act apparently elevated the well to sacred status. Its waters are believed to hold blessings for safe childbirth and fertility. So for centuries, people have come here praying, maybe drawing water, hoping for a blessed delivery or to conceive.
It's amazing how stories like that stick and create these meaningful spots.
It really is. It shows how history and local belief just weave together.
So you climb those steps, and then you reach the worship hall.
Yeah.
You mentioned a unique Harari design side facing and 5 katsuogi logs on the roof. Can you describe that a bit? What does it look like and how does it feel?
Sure. So imagine standing in front of it. Unlike shrines where the entrance faces the pointy gable end, Harari means the entrance is on the longer side. Gives this wider, maybe more welcoming look.
Okay.
Then look up at the roof ridge. You'll see 5 katsuogi, these log-shaped decorative timbers lying across the ridge.
Right.
Their number often signifies importance, sacredness, adds to this imposing but solemn feeling. Together, these features create a unique look, but also instantly give you the sense of, gravitas, deep reverence. You feel the history.
Sounds like every detail has meaning.
Yeah.
What else should we notice walking around?
Oh, definitely look out for the guardian lion dogs, the kamainu. They're usually quite powerful, almost fierce-looking standing guard at the entrance to the worship hall.
To ward off evil spirits.
Exactly, protecting the sacred space. Their strength and just how beautifully preserved everything is really shows how much the local community cherishes this place. You'll also find smaller auxiliary shrines, like Akiba Shrine for fire protection, always practical, and Gosho Shrine. Plus, the Mikoshi Storehouse, the portable shrine that's often open so you can peek inside.
A glimpse into festival traditions.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this sounds really cool for literature fans. You mentioned stone monuments with poems from the Menyoshu collection. That's ancient, right?
It really is captivating. The Menyoshu is Japan's oldest poetry collection, 8th century, almost as old as the shrine itself.
Wow.
So these monuments aren't just artifacts, they're like lyrical echoes.
Mm-hmm.
The poems often capture nature's beauty, the quiet feeling of sacred spaces, human emotions, much like the atmosphere here.
So reading them there connects you to people from centuries ago.
Kind of. You can imagine poets back then looking at the same views, feeling the same peace. It creates this amazing poetic link to Japan's literary past, right there on the grounds.
And speaking of literature, Yasunori Kawabata, the Nobel Prize winner, his novel The Sound of the Mountain features this shrine, and his house was right next door.
Yeah, it's an incredible connection. Kawabata's former home stood right beside the Torii Gate. The Sound of the Mountain is famous for its beautiful descriptions of nature, that quiet, introspective mood.
And exploring aging memory.
Right, and the fact his house was right there means this environment, the quiet, the trees, the seasons, it directly seeped into his writing.
So visiting lets you step into that world.
Absolutely. You can feel the atmosphere that inspired him, that sort of melancholic beauty he captured. It adds this whole other really personal layer to your visit.
Beyond all the history and literature, what about nature? What natural wonders are there?
Oh, it's a stunning natural sanctuary, too. Great for nature lovers. You'll immediately notice this huge, majestic camphor tree. It's actually listed among the 50 notable trees of Kamakura and the Miura Peninsula.
That's impressive.
It really is, like an ancient sentinel watching over everything. Provides lovely shade, a sense of timelessness, and the beauty changes with the seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. You get Tamanawa cherry blossoms really early, like mid-Feb to mid-March. Then the classic Sumeo Shino in April, hydrangeas in early summer, and then, of course, vivid autumn leaves in the fall.
So beautiful year-round.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Always something lovely to see in terms of nature.
But you said the real highlight, especially for photos, is the view from the top of the steps.
Oh, the view is spectacular. Unforgettable, really. From the top of those stone steps in front of the main hall, the whole landscape just opens up.
What do you see?
You get this sweeping panorama of the Haas area below, then Yugahama Beach stretching out, and beyond that, the vast Sagami Bay shimmering. On a clear day, the blue sky meets the blue sea. It's just incredible. So peaceful, perfect photo spot, captures that whole Kamakura vibe, coast, history, everything. Really grounds you.
Okay, so for you, our listener, what can you actually do here beyond just looking? What's the experience like?
Well, because it's tucked away in this quiet residential area, it's perfect for just peaceful walks, quiet reflection. It's less about crowds, more about finding a tranquil escape.
A chance to just be somewhere special.
Exactly. Find a bench, listen to the camphor tree rustle, soak in all that history and devotion.
And for guests staying at Toshi's place, you strongly recommend visiting early in the morning. Why then, specifically?
Yes, early morning is really magical there. As the local guardian shrine, it's deeply loved by Huss's residents. In those quiet hours, just after dawn maybe, you'll often see locals pop by for their daily prayers.
Ah, so you see daily life unfolding.
Right. And gently bowing at the altar yourself. It can be a really meaningful way to connect with the community, its traditions during your stay. You feel the peace before the day gets busy. It's a genuine escape, a nice cultural immersion.
And if you happen to be here in early September, there's a festival. What's that like?
Oh, if you time it right for early September, you're in for a treat. The annual festival totally transforms the place. It's vibrant, energetic.
What happens?
You'll see the mikoshi, those amazing portable shrines, and colorful festival floats being paraded through the neighborhood. Lots of energy, music, chanting, celebration.
Yeah, lively.
It really is. A fantastic display of living local traditions, a real contrast to the usual quietness. Shows the community spirit.
Got it. Okay. Practical tip time. Gashuin, those shrine stamps. Lots of people collect them. Since the shrine isn't always attended, how do you get one here?
Good question. Comes up a lot. Since Amanawa Shinmei is often unattended, the Gashuin are actually issued at Yakumo Shrine over in Omachi.
Ah, okay. Yakumo Shrine manages it.
Right. So if you want the stamp, just factor in a visit to Yakumo Shrine. A little planning helps you get that special souvenir.
And this shrine seems like a great launchpad for exploring Hasen more generally, doesn't it? What else is nearby?
Absolutely. It's perfectly situated. You're within easy walking distance of so many other highlights. We're talking Kutoku-in,
The Great Buddha.
the famous Daibutsu, yeah, and Hasadera Temple with its amazing cannon statue and views, plus Goryo Shrine, Joju-in, Kosokuji Temple, each with its own charm.
And the beach.
And Yugahama Beach is right there, perfect for a stroll after all that culture.
So you could easily combine these for a really full day, right? History, culture, nature, all within walking distance. Like a perfectly planned day trip built right into your stay.
Exactly. Wondering how to get there. It's incredibly convenient.
Yeah. Amanawa Shinmei Shrine is just a super easy 5-minute walk from Ha Station on the Enadon line. And for you folks at Toshi's place, it's exceptionally close. Perfect for a little wander right from the hotel.
Just a quick heads up if you're driving, though. There isn't dedicated parking right at the shrine. It's in a residential spot.
Right. So if you do come by car, plan to use nearby paid parking. There are several coin-operated lots just a short walk away, so it's still pretty accessible. So as you reflect on Amanawa Shinmei Shrine later, maybe think about how a place, this ancient, this revered, steeped in myth and history, how it lets us not just look at the past, but really feel that continuity of human experience, of devotion, stretching back over 1,000 years. What might it feel like, to connect with a space where generations sought peace and blessings? And what deep human needs do these old traditions still speak to today?
What do you think?
We hope the rest of your stay at Toshi's place will be filled with wonderful memories.